For this 2-minute drill, we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. And you're asking us, why are you talking about two teams that are garbage? Because they are. They're bottom in the league. They haven't looked good. They just came off terrible games as well. But where we want to focus this conversation, we're each going to kind of provide our points, is that both these teams just put a lot of money into a franchise quarterback, and both these teams could be looking at drafting a quarterback. So making the case for the New York Giants, Sam, we're going to start you in 2 minutes on the clock. Should the New York Giants abort ship on Daniel Jones and draft a quarterback this upcoming draft? Maybe it's Caleb Williams. Maybe it's Drake May. Let's start the clock. Going with you. Start the draft.
Oh, 100%. That's it. That's all I need to say. That was a quick 90-yard pass right off the bat. There's no question. I mean, New York is built for Caleb Williams. I mean, this is a guy who can go to New York. I mean, we've seen guys like Justin Togg and we've seen guys like Victor Cruz still doing Subway commercials. And New York is such a huge market. You bring in a guy like Caleb Williams. I'd obviously hate to see it inside the NFC East and see him facing the Cowboys twice a year. But Daniel Jones and paying that contract was a mistake for the get-go. He won one playoff game, and people might say his time was up and he deserved to get paid, but it was clear that Saquon Barkley was the guy who should have got paid. And obviously, it was been unfortunate. You never want to see a guy go down. Kyler Murray went down. They paid him a lot of money. Now he's potentially coming back this week. Could be week 11. His season's not written off yet, but both of these two teams are looking at a first overall pick potentially. And I think for the Giants, it makes the more sense to hit a reboot, hit a restart, let Brian Dable start fresh. He's a smart guy. Daniel Jones is limited, and he just hadn't looked good all year. It seemed like he took a step back, and then another step back, and another step back, and now with his ACL, he's going into probably playing Week 11 next year. So I don't know what that does for him or who will want to take his contract, but if there's an option to get a guy like Drake May or Caleb Williams, I think New York, you abort ship. Daniel Jones will find work elsewhere, and you focus on one of those two guys as your quarterback moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's definitely valid. And look, these are very, very highly touted prospects, and Caleb Williams has been looked at as what could be a generational talent, the way that people are talking about him, besides the fact that he cried after his game against Washington. You take that away, what he does on the field, he cares. Yeah, no, I'm just saying a lot of people had ridicule about that. I'm not one of them. I don't think you are either.
No.
I'm going to take a different approach with the Arizona Cardinals. As much as it would be great to start fresh with a new rookie quarterback, getting rid of that contract that you gave Kyler Murray, no one else is gonna take it. You're almost kind of stuck with him. You kind of hope that he can maybe have some type of resurgence. He's gonna be coming back, and I think it's this week or the next week. So maybe you kind of, at least we gotta wait to see what he shows us on the field after his injury. But when you have a head coach that's defensive minded and then you bring in a rookie quarterback, I don't think that always meshes well. I think that's a very hard. I mean, I say that, but then again, here we are, Houston Texans. CJ Stroud looked great. I just find that I think D'Amico Ryan's, where I view D'Amico Ryan to Jonathan Gannon, is a little different in how I view them as coaches. But I just think that's a very challenging thing to bring in a rookie quarterback. And look, this is a team with a lot of holes. You're going to have two potentially top 10 picks because you also have the Houston Texans pick, which, again, obviously this was a great week, but I don't know if I believe that they're a playoff team. I know you made the points about CJ Stroud. That's just my thoughts. And you can seriously revamp your team with those two picks. Maybe you bring in Marvin Harrison Jr., and now you have this incredible talent to pair with Kyler Murray. And then your other player you can bring in to reinforce the offensive line. So I'm going to say if you're the Arizona Cardinals, you kind of have to hold off at least for another year. I know that's going to be hard with the type of quarterback talent that we have, but to have Kyler Murray's contract be there for your bench is just going to be a waste for your organization. So that's our 2-minute drill. It'll be very interesting. These are two teams that I think are progressively finding their way closer to that first overall pick, the way the season's going, especially with Daniel Jones out the rest of the year. So it's not looking good for the Giants. The Cardinals, you're getting Kyler Murray back. Maybe you'll have some glimmer of success with him, but it might be a little too late for that.
Well, and one final point, the Cardinals right now, 32, or they're in line to get the first overall pick. They're the 32nd team was what I was trying to say. The Giants are the 5th in the spot right now. They get the 5th overall pick. If the Cardinals decide to want to go with Kyler Murray, they can get another big trade with the Giants, and the Giants could move up, and then the Cardinals could move down. A lot could happen, but right now you've got two teams that are not going to be in the playoffs. One of them wasn't really expecting to be in the playoffs. The other one was. And so that will be interesting to see what the Giants do. I think you made a very good point, but I think in terms of hitting a reboot, I think the Giants are more realistic in terms of making that reboot.